Fox News alert. Elon Musk exposes Twitter files showing censorship of Hunter Biden's laptop and the tech giant's political biases. A reporter revealing that for tweets political parties wanted taken down, quote, there were more channels, more ways to complain open to the left than to the right. Of course, that's true. So where's the accountability? Let's ask Congressman Ronny Jackson. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, so great to have you on this morning. So let's talk about this. What can the new Republican House of Representatives, the Congress, do to rein this in? Because this is the threat to our democracy, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a huge threat, maybe one of the biggest threats that exists, bigger than a lot of the threats we have overseas, to be sure. And, you know, Rachel, this has been going on. Let's not kid ourselves. This has been going on for a long time. This was the run-up to the 2020 election when we're talking about now. They got away with it. They were emboldened by it. There's no telling what they did or to what extent they took this since then. You know, they've been manipulating the American people aggressively, whether it was COVID or, you know, the lockdowns, you know, all the MAGA, the white supremacy threat that they put out there all the time. They've been pushing all this stuff out there, and now we know they have a direct line where they can just call in to social media, to Twitter, and they can tell them this is a list of people that we want permanently banned or blocked, and they just do it for them. And that was a presidential candidate at the time who's now our president, working also in conjunction with the FBI. We know they had a role in this early on, prepping them for this. So we have our own government, our FBI. We had a presidential candidate and now a president working directly with social media to undermine their political opponents. This is Soviet-era type stuff. This has to be fixed. And what I think will happen, Rachel, is that when we get the House back, we're going to have subpoena power. We're going to be able to decide what the committees meet on and what we investigate. I think that we'll have whistleblowers that will come out of the woodwork, that will come out and tell us in great detail, just like Elon Musk is, on exactly what happened, maybe even elaborate on what happened at Twitter, but talk to us about what happened at Facebook and Google and other places as well. So we've got a big job ahead of us, and really the freedoms that we have in this country depend on it.
Yeah, there's no question about it. This is a story about big tech suppression and their interference in our elections, doing that. But there's also the story of Joe Biden and what they were trying to hide, which is the fact that Joe Biden is compromised by the Chinese government and the Communist Party. And that's a serious thing for our country as well. I want to move to another topic, which is that the Naval Academy has now confirmed that it denied all the religious vaccination requests by members of the military. So what can be done in Congress to give back the bodily autonomy that these members of the military deserve?
Well, Rachel, this doesn't surprise me one bit. You know, the very first thing that the Biden administration did, that President Biden did when he came in, was he removed all of the political appointees from the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, and West Point that had been holdovers from the Trump administration. I was on the board at the Naval Academy at that time. That had never been done before. The entire time I was on the board at the Naval Academy as a Trump appointee, we had members from the Biden administration. The rule was they just let their term expire, their 3-year term, and when your term was up, then the new president would appoint you. They stopped that completely. Day one, they replaced everybody with these political appointees that shared their woke ideology, and they're the ones that's supposed to be providing some oversight, not allowing this to happen.
Congressman,
but we've got to get back in there. We can work through the NDAA. Yep.
Yeah, can I ask you just one more question? Because you are a doctor as well as a member of Congress. So this is a vaccination for which there are no long-term studies. What are the risks to the military of having everybody vaccinated with something that has had no long-term studies?
Well, that's it. We don't know what that risk is. Absolutely not. And that's why some of these kids don't want to get it, because they're smart enough to figure out that they don't need it because they're young and otherwise healthy. They're being forced to get it, and they don't know what the long-term risks are. And there's been a lot of stuff out there, right or wrong, that's been horrible about what some of the long-term might be. So it's right. It's understandable that they don't want to do this, and we're punishing them for this. And that's the key. They want to punish these people. They're looking for ways to punish them.
Yeah, it's really sad. Well, we're glad that you're in office, and hopefully you'll be able to do something about both of these very important issues. Congressman Jackson, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Rachel.
You got